I talk a lot in here about parenting strategies that don't work and that do work with deep feeling kids. I talk a lot about parenting strategies that work for empaths and don't work for empaths if you're an empath mom. And my background is for 20 plus years. I have done I've seen clients in every kind of permutation there is in terms of child therapy, family therapy, couples therapy, but mostly parent-child therapy, and created my business, my online coaching business 10 years ago as a solution to reach more people not bound by the limitations of having to be in the same town as me. I took my business online and created an online program, and my flagship program is called Awaken Motherhood. It is a 16-week program to give moms the full system, the full container for helping to transform their families from that emotional intensity, the overwhelm you're feeling, to alleviate all of that and find ease, meaning healthy connection, closeness with your kids, no more drama, no more need for drama, where you in the middle of the system you're in are healthy, are resourced, and are confident in the parenting approach that you have because you see it works. I just had a client on an Awaken Motherhood call give a share this week that was so classic. I'll try to put it in writing for you guys and share it in this group. But basically what she said was, I've been to a lot of therapy, so much therapy, so many different therapists over the years. She has a deep feeling kiddo who is 5, I believe. And she came to me for help with this. And she's on week 4 of our program. And she said, I cannot believe that in 3 weeks of focusing on what you're teaching and implementing it and coming to these coaching calls, that so much progress has been made for me and in my parenting. And I'm kind of mad about it. And we had a little chuckle about that. I understand that feeling of like, you put in years of time and money and energy, but that format of therapy or whatever you get in talking to someone about your parenting challenges is not resolving the problem. And this is where Jessica was, and it's what's happening with her now. 3 weeks in, she's having immediate and massive shifts in her nervous system functioning, her ability to be present with her child during meltdowns, to hold space, to see her child respond differently to her, because now her child feels safe. Why? Because kids ground through your nervous system. They ground through your energy. If you're not okay, they're winging it. They're making it up as they go along. They're looking for other people, other adults to ground through. When they're small, that changes a bit. When they hit adolescence, they're looking to their peer group. And if they haven't gotten it in the early years, they're still looking. They're looking and they're seeking, who can I attach to? And in Awaken Motherhood, we eliminate the need for kids to do that, because from 0 to 8, if we can give our kids that grounded sense of emotional safety and calm, they're going to mirror that back to us, and they're going to seek it in the world. It's exactly what you want. Beyond 8, from 8 to 18, different stages in there of tweendom and then teenage years, they're going to seek that security and that stability outside of them if they haven't created it yet inside of them. We can still help them to create it inside of them, even at that age. So if your child is older than 8, do not panic, do not worry. Come to me for help, come to this workshop, start here. So I'm gonna tell you the 4 things that we're gonna cover, okay? So 4 steps. Part 1 is on November 12th, part 2 is on November 13th. November 12th is, the first thing we're gonna cover is things that don't work with deep feeling kids, like correcting your child's behavior, like reprimanding them, like, and we all do, everyone does it, right? This is not new stuff. Everybody hits a limit at some point and says to their kid, just cut that out, knock it off. That's very Gen X. What do you guys say? Tell me in the comments. What do you say when you're you're pushed to that point of hitting your limit and it's like, just stop? right? Everyone has that limit depending on where your nervous system is functioning. If you're more in survival mode, you're going to hit it much faster. And you're going to come into power struggles a lot more with your child. We're going to talk about what not to do first, okay? How that does harm to your relationship and to your child, your deep feeling child, and what to do instead. We're going to talk on part 1 also about top 3 avoidable parenting mistakes causing deep feeling kids to have lower self-esteem and higher anxiety levels. Now, this is a huge topic, and I could do a whole training just on anxiety in kids and how unrecognized it is by most parents. Unless you know what you're looking for, it does not look like anxiety. But many deep feeling kids are experiencing anxiety, which looks like anger, which looks like irritability, which looks like you're the source of all my problems, blame, looks like disrespect, looks like lack of cooperation. I've heard it a million times. What's at the root of that? Parents aren't thinking like this, but I'm teaching you to think like this. There's something at the root of that needs to be resolved. Usually anxiety. If you come to work with me, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you how to resolve it, and I'll help you to resolve it and shift it for good. Usually, kids who are anxious tend to have lower self-esteem, less confidence. They are less certain in their skills. They are less willing to take risks, to try new things. They're more hesitant. They're more cautious. They are more insecure. And all of that can be shifted and improved, all of it, with the right kind of help and with the right kind of system. Part 2, November 13th, we're diving into, the first thing is calm, cooperation, and respect are not taught. These are not things you can impress upon your kid through lectures or through teachings. They are given, and I'm going to show you how, okay? That's the first thing we're covering in part 2. And the second thing we're covering in part 2 is why your nervous system is the answer to breaking the cycle of emotional outbursts with your child, with your deep feeling child. Your nervous system. What about them? What about theirs? Yeah, theirs too, but yours first. Okay? No matter how old your child is. That is the answer. All right? So, do you want to come to this workshop? Say yes if you want to come. I'll drop you the link below. I cannot wait to help you guys to make some big mindset, whether it's a mindset shift, whether it's a shift in your perception of how you look at your kid or a behavior or how you understand that, or whether it's a decision to take next steps to completely resolve the problems that you're having in parenting and in your relationship with your child. I have your back.